Ciao! Hi everybody, welcome back to another Space-tastic stream. My name is Antonia Strasser, Captain of Prisma. Today is March 26th, 2025. And hello. Hi. Hope you're having a good night slash day slash whatever you're having. Here we are. Little double feature. Listen, I had to condense the schedule a little bit this week because I missed Monday. And I want to do more one-offs. Apparently this is like a quick game, so figured let's just do it and then we'll get into Ace Attorney. I know a lot of clerics about the finale of that case. So okay. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, I am in day 2 of beta testing my new model. So that's happening. That's in progress. It looks, I feel better about it today than I did yesterday. I made some little changes that I felt like I needed to change. You're not going to see any of it because I'm the stream version is still the old model, but yeah, so if I'm ever like stopping to like write something down or something, that's why. So yeah. Anyway, let's do this. This was recommended by Rui, called Pineapple on Pizza. I have no idea what it's about. I'm guessing it has something to do with pineapple on pizza. It's another pizza-based game. I take offense. I take it as an Italian. I take offense. But let's go do it. Where is it? There we go. Do. Where are we? A little sleepy. Just throwing that out there. So if I seem a little slow, it's probably because I am. Okay. The people say I don't do one-offs. Well, here we are. Let's do a one-off. What's up, Rui? Speak of the devil. I'm playing this as per your recommendation. Let's see. Franchise. Okay. Even flash game a little bit. All right, let's go. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. We're on like an island, I guess. A little loud. Play. Okay, I'm playing. A shark. Did I get eaten by the sharks? Oh, I can't even go in the water. Okay. Everybody seems to be having a good time. How did I get here? Am I a tribe person? Whoa, everybody's dancing. No, not this game. You recommended it. What do you mean, not this game? Everybody's chilling out. But you know what? It's a little laggy. Hold on. You didn't. I distinctly remember you did. Let Let me turn down the graphics a little bit so it's not as laggy. Should help a little bit. Okay. Did we do anything? Is this the whole game? Everybody's dancing. Someone else because I recommended the Netflix game on mobile. Oh, I see. I don't know who recommended it then. I can duck. Step inside the circle. Okay. Am I going faster? He's dancing. In a grand old time. Should I go through here? Wait, am I getting sacrificed? Is that what's going on? I don't know if I want to do that. There's like different paths. They all lead to the volcano. The floor is lava. Okay. Wait, what? Am I gonna die? Whoa. Was that me? Wait, I'm rising up. Oh wait, that's not good. Wait, uh-oh. Hey guys. I think we're gonna die. They don't seem very worried. Guys. Oh god. Oh my god. That's what they're asking to get for trying to sacrifice me, you know what I'm saying? Damn, Jesus. Just the wildfires? I don't know about that. I feel like it's a little more than that. They don't even try to like say, oh wait. They're going off on the raft. That's good. Can I go with them? Oh, I can't. Y'all are just gonna leave me? Oh. Whoa. Oh my god. I see. That's the pineapple one. that was upsetting. Okay, well, that was pineapple on pizza. Okay. That was a faster playthrough than I thought it would be. Um, okay. Let's go ahead and update. Okay. Just have to get my Switch. All right. All right. So we are finishing the 5th case in Ace Attorney. Likely we will start the 6th one, the DLC one. I think this one, that we still have another probably like 2 hours left of this, so chances are we'll probably start the 6th one, which is considered to be like DLC, I guess. Apparently it's a fan favorite, so forward to that. But for now, finish Ace Attorney 5-5. Space bombing, whatever the heck case. Turnabout for tomorrow. Oh, Ruby, thank you for the hydrate. I don't know if you just did that. But now I have hydrated. Successfully hydrated. Okay. If you're not familiar with this case, don't worry. Yeah. We will we'll do a quick gloss over what we know so far. So goes. So initially Sullivan Starbuck was accused of Clay Turan. That been acquitted of that. Now we're talking about a case that happened 7 years ago, I guess, that coincides with case, because I guess the person who did it 7 years ago is the same person who did it this time. Means if that's the case, Simon Blackwell will be acquitted. And yeah, there's a lot of other characters. If you have a question at this point, we're so deep into this. What did he do? What did Simon do? Well, it's not a matter of what he did, it's what he was accused of. He's convicted of the murder at the Space Center 7 years ago, which was murder of Metis Sykes, who is the mother of Athena Sykes. That was the one 7 years ago. He's been in jail since. So now we're trying to figure out who killed. Now someone can't go to space. Yeah, they were going to go to space. Solomon Starbuck and Clay Turan were going to go to space, but before they were about to lift off, there was a series of bombs in the Space Center. And so we're trying to figure out that as well, because apparently someone did those bombs that we don't know. We thought it was someone else, but it turned out it was not. For some reason, they're not even on this list. Aura Black Quill is holding a bunch of people hostage, including Phoenix Wright's adopted daughter, Lucy Wright. So there's just a whole bunch going on. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. There's a few people it could be. It could be Clay, although Clay's dead. So it's possible. Maybe Juniper. It's not Solomon Starbuck. It's not Simon. Bobby Fold writes the detective. It's not. It could be Candace, but she's also dead. I know people are suspecting Yuri Cosmos as well, and Aura Black. Those are all the suspects. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I guess it could also be the robots, but if it were one of the robots, then it means that means that they were accomplishing. So I don't think it could be anyone else other than those 5. Oh yeah, and we're doing this in the courtroom that was bombed before because we couldn't find another courtroom. Kind of cringe, but it is what it is. You do what you can, right? Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. It's very simple. There isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. Oh yeah, Athena Sykes is being accused currently too. What are you talking about? The case from 7 years ago has been settled. I'm not talking about the past here, I'm talking about the present case. It's still not clear who killed Clay Turan. But Apollo, why would you... Sykes, please listen quietly to what I have to say. What in the world is Apollo trying to do? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time. What? This is a trial for the case from 7 years ago. It's Blackwell. I'd like to ask a favor of you. Just as you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me too. I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do. Apollo. Sure. You know I'm all for the truth. Now let's see you expose the princess's guilt. Judge, I give my permission. Continue with the trial. Very well. Is that all right with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections. Let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony. I'll have the police's investigation brought immediately. To Edgeworth. Really hope it's because we have something up your sleeve. Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. As you wish. To review the case of the murder of Mr. Clay Terran. It was made clear in the previous trial that Sullivan Starbuck was not his killer. Therefore, the true culprit was someone else. On that day, this culprit waited for the astronauts in boarding lounge 1. And the two men made their escape out of the space museum. The killer attacked Mr. Terran with the same type of knife that was used 7 years ago. The murderer then escaped into the space museum. Ex-director Yuri Cosmos switched the launch pads. After that, the culprit exited the space museum and escaped via boarding lounge 2. Therefore, this trial must make clear who Mr. Terran's true killer was. In other words, we must discover who it was that escaped through the space museum. Thank you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, is the defense ready? Yes, Your Honor. Gotta rearrange my evidence. Relevant evidence swapped into the court record. Oh, come on. Now then, Mr. Justice, your testimony, please. I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Terran. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launchpad switch to escape. That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Justice, you realize you are charging your own co-worker with murder, don't you? Yes, Your Honor, because that is the conclusion my investigation has led me to. But, Apollo, why? How could you suspect me too? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. I don't get it. Just what did you find out over the past few days to make you think this? What first made you suspicious of Miss Sykes? It all started when Miss Sykes and I were investigating the crime scene. When she saw the weapon that killed Mr. Terran, Bracelet reacted. She said she'd never seen the knife before, but my bracelet told me otherwise. And then, every time after that, my bracelet would react when she talked about the case. Poor Apollo must have been beside himself during that investigation. He didn't know what to do or think. Couldn't even sleep. In that condition, I knew I wouldn't be any good in court. I decided to wear an eye patch so I wouldn't be able to perceive any of her tells. That's why Apollo was acting so strangely. The reason Miss Sykes unconsciously reacted to the knife that way is because she stabbed her mother's murderer with one identical to it 7 years ago. That knife was also the murder weapon that was used to kill Clay Terran. A bracelet could have also reacted to her, because she knew she was his killer too. Ugh. I guess he has a point. But my bracelet wasn't the only reason I became suspicious of her. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. That's the lighter that was found in the Space Museum with her fingerprints on it, right? But even if it seems decisive, there must be other facts we don't know about it yet. Must be other facts we don't know about it yet. I think that's correct grammar, but whatever. That's so. Go ahead and prove it then. Look, honestly, I don't want to believe it's true either, but Miss Sykes was the only one who was in the Space Museum at the time of the murder. But Mr. Justice, Miss Sykes had absolutely no motive to kill Mr. Turan. 7 years ago, Miss Sykes lived at the Cosmos Space Center. Wouldn't be strange if she had some kind of connection to it. Besides, people sometimes kill for motives we can't even imagine. I know you've seen plenty of cases like that in your own career, Mr. Wright. I still can't believe this. You actually suspect Athena, Apollo. In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launch pad switch to escape.
Hold it!
Isn't it possible that somebody else used that same escape route? I'm afraid not, Mr. Wright. Why not? Recall there is a security camera in boarding lounge 1 aimed at the launch pad door. It's the camera that captured Mr. Tran and Mr. Starbuck. There's also another security camera in boarding lounge 2. Recorded Mr. Tran's killer, or rather Miss Sykes, coming out of the Space Museum. Camera in boarding lounge 2? First I've heard of it, but it makes sense. Venus said she had snuck into the Space Museum the night before the incident, and then was overcome and passed out until around noon the next day. I was out until about noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into boarding lounge 2. What's up, Despair? Must have been when the camera captured her. And that's what made Apollo suspect her even more. But wait a minute. In that case, it most likely recorded the true culprit as well. That's a negative on that one too, Mr. Wright. Forgot I was in 3D. I know. In the footage taken after the incident, Miss Sykes is the only one who appears. What? Why? Why? Order. Order in the court. That can't be. But if it is, then it is incredibly incriminating. Wasn't it you who proved in the previous trial that the way the true culprit escaped was via the Space Museum after the pads had been switched? Fact you previously proved turned on its ear, leaving your client high and dry. I feel like all the 3D modeling budget was spent on Edgeworth. Just like old times. I know, right? I missed this. I must say, that is vintage Phoenix Wright. That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder.
Hold it!
Believing in your client to the end is a basic principle of good defense. Shouldn't you extend that same principle to your own coworker? You're probably right. Maybe I'm not even fit to be a lawyer. However, I don't care. Okay. This case is special to me. He was my friend. And that's why I just have to know the truth. Apollo suspected his trusted co-worker of killing his friend. To dispel his doubts, he investigated on his own, but that only led to more doubts. Apollo must have been really struggling with this. Well, Apollo may have doubts, but I'll say it again. Athena Sykes isn't the murderer. And I have only one thing to say. Evidence is everything in court. Well, Mr. Wright, think you have the concrete proof to knock down any arguments? Your arguments have been very clear, Mr. Justice, and your facts appear to be indisputable. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think of my theory? Looks like not even you can deny it. Miss Sykes was the only one who used the only possible escape route. Under these circumstances, there can be no other suspect but the defendant. Unless you think there is an alternative escape route? Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? Is that what you think, Phoenix? Was there an alternative escape route? Of course. I don't know, I guess. There Yes, of course there must have been. Just don't ask me what. And what do you think it was? Fuck! Huh? You're just bluffing again, aren't you? Me? Bluff? No way. He knows me too well. It's fine, Mr. Wright. Even a bluff would suit me just fine. As long as you can clear up this doubt inside me. Wait, so is that what this is all about? I want to believe in Athena, I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. So that you can really trust me? It seems your junior partner has just showed up. That's what trials are really all about. I believe you're right. We prosecutors painstakingly question every detail in pursuit of the defendant. While we lawyers believe in and defend our clients to the end. When both sides go all out against each other, that's when we discover the truth. And you two kiss. Wait, what? Precisely. And when the battle is over, we will understand the true meaning of trust. That is exactly what trials are about, wouldn't you agree? Yes, I couldn't ignore the seed of doubt that was growing inside me. I decided I needed to face it head on. No matter what the truth is that's waiting ahead, I won't be afraid. That's so like Apollo, always uber earnest about things like this. Mr. Justice, I vow to dispel every last bit of doubt in your heart. Good, because I want to believe in Miss Sykes again. Really hoping there was an alternative route, aren't you, Apollo? But if I use the process of elimination, there really aren't that many possibilities. Director Cosmos was at the southern exit, leaving only the control room and the corridor to the Space Museum. Which door could the culprit have escaped through? Come on, Mr. Wright, who do you think the culprit escapes to? God if I know. Do. Where did the culprit escape to? Control room, a corridor. I guess the Space Museum corridor. They really only could have escaped the corridor to the Space Museum. All they had to do was use the unconscious Mr. Starbucks prints to get through the door. It appears that all you're trying to establish is Miss Sykes' guilt. The culprit used that route. The only exit would have been into boarding lounge 2. The logical conclusion of your argument is that the killer is none other than the defendant. I knew it. It's the only way it could be, huh? Culprit escaped into the corridor that leads to the Space Museum. Guess it's true. The only exit would have been into boarding lounge 2. Wait, so did I get it wrong? Miss Sykes was the only person captured by the boarding lounge 2 security camera. I investigated the crime scene thoroughly. The only place the culprit could have escaped to was the Space Museum corridor. There weren't any other secret corridors or anything. So that leaves us with no other conclusion to draw but that Athena Sykes was the culprit. What could the answer be? Was there really no other escape route? But hold on a second. What if... Yeah, well, they moved around? Where do those mysterious leaves we saw in the corridor come from? What if they're a clue to the culprit's real escape route? I think it is possible that the culprit escaped into the Space Museum, but then came out using a route other than into Boarding Lounge 2. Oh? Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched after the bombing, meaning the Space Museum corridor was moving along the rail at the time. Which is exactly when an alternative escape route opened up for our culprit. Are you kidding me? Judging by the intense look in your eyes, I take it you're serious. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Do tell. Where could the culprit have gone from the museum corridor besides Boarding Lounge 2? The launch site? Found something odd while investigating the museum corridor this afternoon. Namely, a few dead leaves on the floor. Considering where dead leaves come from, they point us to exactly where the culprit escaped to. Yes, I remember seeing some leaves myself. Do you mean... Yep. While the Space Museum was in motion, just beyond the corridor's safety door, was an alternative place that the culprit could use to escape. In other words, the culprit's real escape route was the area outside the Space Center. You're freaking insane! Objection! Do you know how impossible that would be? That corridor is level with the 3rd floor. Even if the culprit tried to leap to the outside wall of the Space Center building, it would fall to their death. Ordinarily, yes. But after the bombing incident, the culprit could make use of a certain item. And what item was it exactly, Mr. Wright? Alright, this is what the culprit used to leap to the outside wall to the main building. Emergency ladder? Take that! Emergency ladder? I'm never told of these things. There is an emergency ladder in the 4th floor robotics lab. It was used that day after the explosions to help evacuate people. Miss Blackwell herself used that ladder to escape down to ground level. Recall that the launch pads were switched after the ladder was lowered. The corridor would have passed by the ladder while the pads were being switched, and that's when the culprit literally sprang into action. And leapt onto the ladder. What? Who would have imagined? Order in the court. Well, an alternative escape route seems to have emerged. Which means someone other than Miss Sykes could have been the culprit, right? Making things up on the fly in an attempt to sway the court again, are we, Mr. Wright? Your theory has so many holes it puts Swiss cheese to shame. That was a good one. Alright then, name one.
I have here detailed information about the Space Center according to this. The distance between the museum corridor and the main building during movement is a full 20 feet. 20 feet? You're pulling my leg, right? In addition, the corridor is 3 floors from the ground, or roughly 50 feet. What's more, the culprit would be leaping to a precarious place. An unstable ladder. Human beings feel fear in dangerous situations. It's a basic survival instinct. An ordinary person would certainly hesitate before jumping. Or even freeze in fear and not jump at all. But the culprit had just murdered someone. They weren't in an ordinary state of mind. Nevertheless, why would they have taken that kind of a risk? They could have waited for the switch to be complete and escaped to boarding lounge 2. As there was a security camera in boarding lounge 2. Culprit knew they would be recorded if they left the Space Museum that way. In that case, the culprit would have hidden in the museum until things settled down, then blended in with the other people after the museum was opened. That's a good point. You claim that, despite all this, the culprit took a 20-foot death-defying leap. And all in the brief moment the corridor and ladder passed by each other. That's also a good point. They would have needed a running start while the corridor was moving to make that jump. Their timing was off, or if they couldn't jump far enough, it would have been instant death. What kind of person would attempt something like that? Stop bringing up good points, Edgeworth. This true culprit of yours is nothing but a figment of your imagination. Why do you always have to point out every flaw? Mr. Edgeworth's right. That does sound pretty insane. The culprit would have to be someone who feels no fear like a stuntman. But everyone feels fear on some level, right? Wait a minute. Aha! Got it this time. Prove that there is someone who could have used this alternative escape route. Oh, can you now? This proves the possibility of a person who could have used this alternative escape route. I haven't the faintest idea. Proves that someone could use the escape route? Subject's emotions rarely fluctuate, and he doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. Okay, I guess this one. What's that, Mr. Wright? This is a certain person's very interesting psych profile. Subject doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. In other words, this person doesn't feel happiness, sadness, or fear. Doesn't feel fear? Right. You can't be serious. Without the constraint of fear, he could easily do what any ordinary person wouldn't dare. Just as you or I could do a broad jump on the ground without the slightest fear. This subject could make a 20-foot leap 50 feet up in the air. he could choose this extreme way of escaping without hesitation. So you're saying that to a person without fear, alternative, the alternative, the alternative route would be quicker and eliminate the chance that they'd be spotted? It's definitely pretty extreme, Mr. Wright. But there was such a person. Was there such a person there at the scene? Yes. The Phantom, that mysterious shadowy figure, keeps popping up. Oh dear. Phantom. Again? I knew the Phantom was there behind the scenes of the Space Center bombing. But I wasn't sure if he was connected to the murder of Clay Turan as well. However, now it's all clear. Phantom is the one who not only bombed the Space Center, but also killed Mr. Turan. Whoa! What? I guess it's not Clay. Well. Order in the court. Order, I say. Mr. Wright, please continue. There were just too many similarities between this case and the one from 7 years ago. But why, you may ask? It can only be because both incidents were the work of the same Phantom. So then this Phantom is the one who killed Clay? But who is he? This Phantom has been haunting this case, pulling the strings in the background. Who could this unidentified international spy be? Right, this escape route must have been part of the Phantom's plan from the start. This was tricking Director Cosmos into switching the launch pads. The bomb on the second floor was meant to make the elevators and stairs unusable. That's why he gave advance warning and planted the bombs where he did. Yes, I think you're right. But it doesn't explain this one last thing. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? The robotics lab wasn't the only room with an emergency ladder, but he couldn't have made that leap unless he was certain which one it would be. So you mean the Phantom must be someone who knew that particular ladder was going to be used? That's right. Who could it be? Wait a minute. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. Miss Blackwell lowered the ladder after being told to by the detective leading the... You've gotta be kidding me. You figure it out right? You know who the Phantom is? Yes, I do. Who is it? Who killed Clay? Mystery spy, known as the Phantom. None other than... I think I have an idea. I think I know who it is, but... Is it Candace?
Take that!
Unbelievable, this person is the spy? That's right, we were all completely fooled. Your Honor, please don't be fooled by Mr. Wright here. He picked that person without putting any thought into it at all. Mr. Wright, how dare you take me for a foolishly foolish fool? Unacceptable. Oh. Wait, if that wasn't the there was only one other detective. No fucking way. No way, dude. No way. No way. Bobby fucking Fulbright. Oh my god. After the explosions, a member of the staff crossed paths with a certain detective. Was on duty on the fourth floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. As for the detective who was leading the evacuation from the fourth floor, he had a very specific objective in mind. Dude. They always bring their A game on these cases. I swear to God, on the final case, it's crazy. I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. His objective was to secure his own escape route. We lowered an emergency ladder from a fourth floor window and escaped that way. Once everyone got out safely, I made my way down too and headed to the shelter. This is a detective you all know. He's even the lead detective on the current case. Appears to be a very emotional man, but his psych profile says he is without emotions. What? Are you saying, you mean the Phantom is Detective Bobby Fulbright? Exactly. We were all taken in by his fake persona. Detective Fulbright's real identity is the Phantom. I would have never guessed that. I even said at the beginning of this stream, I said it's not him, because he's the detective. That is insane. That is insane. That's insane. Honestly, big if true. Order, order in the court, Mr. Wright. How could this be? That's easy, Your Honor. Detective Fulbright was leading the fourth floor evacuation effort. Our first clue is that he made no attempt to have any other ladder put to use. The ladder in the robotics lab is the only one he ordered to be lowered. The second is that he directed everybody to the basement shelter via this ladder. Verily, it was all part of his plan to create an escape route. After Detective Fulbright saw to it that the ladder was lowered from the robotics lab, he went to the lounge where he killed Clay Turan and escaped into the Space Museum. The museum started moving slowly, so he waited for the right time, got a running start, and just as the corridor was passing the ladder, he leaped onto it. Grr, don't believe it, that addle-padded detective did all that. Was it really him? I mean, all this time I thought... Sorry, we didn't catch your name. My name? I'm Bobby Fulbright. Well, thank God he's not going to come back for another game. Bring me back Gumshoe. I miss my man. I miss the himbo. The heroic detective who defends our good citizens from evil. The champion of justice who comes running whenever you're in need. And my catchphrase, in justice we trust. And his concern for Simon is also all just one big act? I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again. Bro, he fucking like he fucking low key like Gypsy Rosed him in a way. Don't ask me to elaborate. In justice we trust. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. I used the edge with voice on accident. That monster killed Clay? He he had me completely fooled. And to think of it, he's the one who brought that blood-stained lighter to court too. That's the scumbag even made me turn on Athena. Damn it. How the hell did I fall for all that? It is really crazy how I will always like call out Ace Attorney thinking that like they're gonna do the most predictable shit. And then it is something that I completely would have never guessed in a million years. If you were to ask me this at the beginning of this case, I would have told you, no way. No way. Is that that girl that was in prison that got out of jail and was pregnant a month later? Yeah. The scumbag even made me turn on Athena. Damn it. How the hell did I fall for all that? It's honestly not like the most like unplausible like twist, but it's just like I think the fact that they did such a good job building up this character, even though I didn't really enjoy him as a character very much. Like it was such a like, oh no, it's not him, but not enough to where it's like overly suspicious. And that's something that I really appreciate about it. Like I genuinely appreciate that they have such a good ability of like making it so it's just like it's suspicious, but not suspicious enough to the point where I would actually suspect it. You know what I mean? Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Absolute cinema. Kino. The scumbag even made me turn on Athena. Damn it. How the hell did I fall for all that? Him to have wormed his way into the police department as well. Ugh. Your Honor, the defense demands to question Detective Bobby Fulbright. Okay. Yes, I agree that we need to hear from him right away. The court will take a short recess, and then Detective Fulbright will take the stand. Daddy needs to eat some lunchies. I've got a date with Chipotle. Oh, whoa. 5:13 p.m.? Holy shit. We going overtime. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. If it wasn't for everything you did, I... I... Don't thank me. Don't thank me yet. Still have an uphill battle to fight. You got it, boss. Apollo. Well, this is awkward. Can you do me a favor? Huh? What is it? Could you punch me, please? What? Why should I do that? Because I should have believed in you. Let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I didn't. Ow! Don't be such a dope. I was really touched by what you did. Huh? Now what are you talking about? I I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. That once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. You took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how could I punch a true friend like you, Apollo? You didn't have any trouble slapping him a second ago. Thanks, Athena. And thanks for waking me up to reality again. Guess I know who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. Looks like you have some promising young people working under you. Edgeworth. Yeah, I think they're pretty great myself. And they're not afraid to keep me in line. Anyway, I have some very good news. Cora Blackwell has surrendered and the hostages have been set free. You've seen all the others? Thank goodness. Miss Blackwell said she had something she really needed to do. I granted her special permission to do what she must. Or what it is. Miss Blackwell? I didn't come to apologize, if that's what you're thinking. My actions are what allowed the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. But I did come because I had something to say to all of you. Miss Aura, you better not be here to complain about something. Miss Blackwell, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault. Yes, it's true the courts are filled with incompetent idiots. Still, I suppose I could let you handle the rest of this case for me. Oh, Miss Aura, does that mean you're starting to trust the system again? No, of course not. Be quiet, hunk of junk. It's just, I wouldn't mind if you were the ones who took Metis' killer down. Leave it to us. We'll get him. I guess that means she's starting to trust us, at least. Aura. Simon, I'm so glad both you and the princess were cleared of all suspicion. And it's all thanks to me and my robots. You'd better be grateful. I never imagined you would go that far. Though you always were extreme. Don't recall ever requesting your help. As close as ever, I see. Well, now that you've been released, I guess it's my turn to go live in the slammer. I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my trial. You better give me the death penalty. I'll open him. You know me all too well. I guess love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case. But I truly was about to be executed tomorrow. Though, because of you, it looks like I won't be crossing the sticks just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Aura. Sorry I caused you so much anguish. Simon. I'm so glad. I'm so very glad to hear you say that. Aura. Cross to my house that is in the sticks. Alright, that's enough of that. Bailiff, take me to the detention center. What Miss Blackwell did was inexcusable. But it's clear she did it out of love for her brother. I still can't wrap my mind around Detective Fulbright being the Phantom. I can't believe he killed Clay. Wait, so it's a little weird that like we're just like, oh, this man who was convicted of murder and has spent 7 years in the slammer, like suddenly because we suspect someone else, he can go. It's like, well, we haven't like I don't know if that's how that works. But what do I know? I'm not in the legal system. I'm a criminal. Right. And murdered my mentor, which brought great distress upon little Athena. Chief prosecutor. Yes? I would ask a favor. Do you allow me to stand at the prosecutor's bench for this trial? I wish to claim the Phantom's head by my own hand. That was my plan all along. After all, it's highly unconventional for a man of my position to stand in court. Oh, too good for us now, Edgeworth? Sir, the formal paperwork has yet to be filed, but you are hereby conditionally released. Please take the prosecutor's bench in your official capacity and uncover the truth by your own hand. I'm much obliged. The day to part with these has come at last. I mean, you seem to have no problem with it the first, like, 3 times, but go for it, I guess. Chief Prosecutor, could you? How long have I waited? Maybe it's the sense of freedom. Even the air seems fresher, the light brighter. Oh, actually, we did spray some Febreze in the lobby. So, and I will relish slashing that black guard Fulbright to shreds without mercy. Well, I mean, you were just released on suspicion of murder, so let's maybe not commit violence, but okay, I get it. I don't have to be able to read his heart to see how happy he is. Girl, you bust out of them all the time. He spent more time out of them on stream than I. Exactly. I'm like, oh, finally, freedom. It's like, what do you mean? You've been free. I'm so glad, but I won't cry just yet. After all, I've still got a trial to finish. It's okay to cry, Athena. I promise. Do violence on my pudding part. Prosecutor Blackwood. Mr. Wright, please avenge Clay's death for me. What are you talking about, Apollo? You're coming to the defense's bench with me. I am? Well, I can't expect Athena to assist me now, can I? He's the defendant. I don't know what I just said, but I did not like it. We're experimenting. That's what we do. What we do here. We try new things. Sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they do. That leaves you, Apollo. But are you sure you want me? I want you. What? I took a leave of absence and everything. We have paid time off. It's okay. Well, our office is pretty short-handed, and you're all I've got. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Apollo. Athena, I say it with all my heart now. I believe in your complete innocence, and now we're going to prove it to the world. Thank you, Apollo. I know you can do it. Oh no, I actually tore my eyeball out. I kind of liked the bandages, not gonna lie. Guys with bandaged up hands are kind of hot. I don't know what that trope is, but oh, I forgot I gave him his little street outfit. Now this is the Apollo I know. Welcome back, Apollo. Almost time for the trial to restart, though it looks like you have things well in hand. Yup. Oh, he kind of dressed. I should head back to the prosecutor's office. But why? I want to look into a few things, namely, the first people on the scene 7 years ago, the facial data registered by the robot. I need his hair boners. And Detective Fulbright's background. Sounds great, Edgeworth. Thanks. I expect to be repaid with a victory right. Now, if you'll excuse me. Okay, you two all set to go? You bet I am. Let's do this. This is it. The final battle. Murder of Apollo's friend, the courtroom bombing incident. The case that ushered in the dark age of the law 7 years ago. Destiny has called us to bring the one responsible for it all to justice today. Not DP. Alright, let's get this over with. We are way over time. Let us now reconvene. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has never been more ready. You know, this is the first time we've been at the defense bench together since I debuted. What are you, a VTuber? Now that you mention it. Although, back then I thought you were more loud than you were reliable. You've really come a long way since then, Apollo. You've grown a lot. Well, there have been some hiccups, but I guess I've done pretty well. Still got that ego of his, though. Prosecutor Blackwell, with the 7-year mistake now resolved, you can finally take your rightful place. Yeah, yes. I guess we can keep the chit-chat for later. Bailiff, please bring in the witness immediately. And with those handcuffs off, Prosecutor Blackwell seems to be pretty much the same. 7 years of grumpiness doesn't go away easily, I guess. Bobby Fulbright here. I heard I was needed on the stand, so here I am. Detective Fulbright, do you know why you have been called to give testimony? Yep, because there is only one reason why I'd be called. That is because it's time for justice. In justice we trust. You can't fool us with that act anymore. Your justice is nothing but lies. What? Are you questioning the integrity of my sense of justice? I mean, sure, sometimes I make mistakes, but hey. He's acting exactly the same as always. Tell me about it. Must be feeling awfully confident. Fulbright, you wish to dispel our suspicions. Then let's get to your testimony. All right, fine. You want to prove my righteousness? I can certainly do that. Embodiment of justice. I am the very embodiment of justice itself. I won't have you make me into a villain with your far-fetched arguments. And this bit about the escape route is only a theory. You don't have any proof. What we do have is proof that Athena Sykes is the culprit. This lighter with her prints on it. So you're saying the suspicions against you are completely false? I guess I believe them then. And that the defendant is the real culprit? That's right. Mr. Lawyer's escape route is totally circumstantial. He doesn't have any proof that I made a big leap onto a ladder. We don't have proof. You are correct about that. However, you don't have any proof for your claim either. Yeah, I guess you're right. But you can't define justice with evidence. Who can define it anyway? Justice just is. Don't make me break out a dictionary on you. Yeah, please don't throw the book at me. Tell me the Phantom didn't just make me set up a stupid pun for him. Let's just try not to lose focus, alright? But my justice is crystal clear. What's not clear are your eyes. Wake up and smell the justice with your eyes.
Silence.
Oh. Enough of your rubbish, Fulbright. You have even an ounce of justice. You will answer the court's questions and prove it. Prosecutor Blackwell. Prosecutor Blackwell looks torn. Well, Fulbright was his partner after all. Prosecutor Blackwell is right. The truth will be revealed in the cross-examination. Suspicions against Detective Fulbright are, at this point, only suspicions. As is my duty, I will judge the claims against the detective as impartially as I can. Does anyone have any objections? That's fine, Your Honor. Ha 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 ha. Now ask away, and don't hold back. Well, there don't appear to be any objections. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination.
Hold it.
Monument of Justice? Those are just empty words. But they say if you keep saying something, it can eventually become the truth. Isn't that how people make their dreams come true, too? By wishing over and over? Alright, alright. Let's just move on. I won't have you make me into a villain with your far-fetched arguments.
Hold it.
My arguments are hardly far-fetched. There's careful reasoning behind my theory. Yes, well, apparently there's reasoning behind even a tofu burger. But what we have against Miss Sykes, though, is not just reasoning, but solid evidence. It's called the lighter, with Miss Sykes' fingerprints on it and the victim's blood. Yes, that's true, but wait. Detective Fulbright was the one who brought that evidence to the trial. If you harbor any suspicions, I suggest you ask Fulbright, right, Dono? Especially about that lighter.
That's right, but what exactly should I ask about? The number of prints? Owner. The number. How many prints were found exactly? 3. The thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger of a right hand. Your Honor, that is an important statement. Can we please have it?
Added to my testimony? You got it. He beat me to it. Ha ha ha. Be it investigating or testifying, speed is the key. Three prints were on the lighter. The thumb, index, and middle fingers of a right hand. Didn't Aura mention the... Herb held a lighter with an earth emblem on it in their left hand and a knife in their right. It's the classic left-right trope.
Objection!
You say the prints were from a right hand, is that correct? That's right. Very clear prints. But that just doesn't add up. Oh? What doesn't add up? According to Miss Blackwell, who saw the culprit herself, this person held the lighter in their left hand. Oh? So here's the dilemma before us. Why are the prints on the lighter from a right hand instead of a left? Yeah. You're right. Doesn't make sense now, does it? Here on Earth, this lighter can hardly be called incriminating evidence. The witness's claims don't even hold water. Detective Fulbright, I hope you have a good explanation for this. I just can't understand it. They're definitely right-hand prints. But then, why are they inconsistent with Miss Blackwell's statement? I've got it. What have you got, Detective? The mirror. The witness must have seen a reflection of the culprit in the mirror. Go on. Miss Blackwell was looking in through the window of boarding lounge 1, wasn't she? I believe so. You mean the little window in the back and to the right of the room? That's right. And across the room of the opposite wall is a large mirror. I do remember seeing it. Ah, so are you saying... Yes, the culprit Miss Blackwell saw must have been a reflection of that person in the mirror. Ah, I see. In that case, right and left would appear reversed, wouldn't they? Ha 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 ha. Now do you see? That's the logic of pure justice. Your argument is only conjecture. You don't have any proof that what Miss Blackwell saw was a reflection. I don't know. You'd sooner nick yourself than him like that. Put some more muscle into it. That's right. Besides, the lighter couldn't have been in the left hand. Why not? Miss Blackwell said she saw an earth emblem on the lighter, didn't she? That emblem is only on one side of the lighter. You're right. There's no emblem on the other side. Exactly. As blank and smooth as the judge's fine scalp. If the culprit had held the lighter in their left hand, they wouldn't have covered the emblem. Uh-oh. What's more, this is the kind of lighter you flick open with your thumb before lighting. If the culprit had held it in their left hand with the emblem out and visible, they wouldn't have been able to open it, let alone light it. But if they had held it in their right hand, they could easily open it and light it. This all means that the culprit was definitely holding the lighter in their right hand. Oh, come back, my beautiful contradiction. Here's you've planted a flower that bears no fruit. See how it withers before my flower of justice? It's tough. Managed to discredit almost everything I've proven up to this point. In justice we trust. Now do you see? I'm not this phantom you've been talking about. I mean, are you sure there really is a spy? I bet they're just a figment of your imagination. Oh, it's so sad, so very sad. I'm afraid Miss Sykes is the culprit.
Hold it!
Detective Fulbright, I believe you said the emblem is only on one side of the lighter. Are you sure about that? Of course I'm sure. Why don't you take a look for yourself and see? Do you see an earth emblem on both sides of the lighter? Knew it. You're lying, detective. Pardon me? You mean... Yes, my bracelet reacted to his statement about the emblem. It's definitely hiding something big. I think if we use my talent, we might be able to figure it out. Justice Dono, are you to use that cheat of yours again? Not cheating, Prosecutor Blackwell. It is kind of cheating. It is kind of cheating. Very well. Whether I like it or not, I suppose we should use whatever works right now. Go on then. Prosecutor Blackwell's reluctant blessing, apparently. Okay, Apollo, you're up. Here goes then. Detective Fulbright, could you repeat that last statement one more time? What in the world are you up to? Alright, fine. I'll say it as many times as you like. Listen carefully. The Earth emblem is only on the side that you can see when held in the right hand. Whoa. Staring at his titties. Oop, oop, oop.
Gotcha!
Detective Fulbright, you might not be aware of it yourself, but whenever you say the phrase, the Earth emblem, your left thumb moves. In fact, it appears as though you're running it along the edge of your holster. Mr. Lawyer, I don't have the foggiest notion of what you're talking about. I'm certainly not thinking about shooting you. Be that as it may, I know it has something to do with the lighter. Let me examine it. But why? You're not making any sense. You can't just...
Silence!
Be still and do as you're told, Fulbright. You have nothing to hide. You shouldn't mind them having a look-see, should you? What? Not you too, Prosecutor Blackwell. I'm not sure what this is all about, but if Prosecutor Blackwell insists, it must be something important. We'll allow the defense to examine the lighter. Ugh. Good. Now maybe we'll learn something new. Hope so. Let's check every inch of this thing. Wait, finally. I can look at things. Hard to tell if the prints are from a right hand or a left just by looking. I don't think looking at each print with the naked eye will tell us anything new. This lighter definitely hides a secret. I agree. Check it out carefully. So this is the Earth emblem Detective Fulbright was talking about. See anything noteworthy? Huh? Hey, look at this. Oh, it's actually some kind of button. Hmm. Looks like you can flip it, maybe? Ow. It transformed into something. Handle, a trigger? Is this what I think it is? Oh, it's like a tiny gun. Is that what they're saying? There's no question, it seems. What you have there is a gun. A what? Gun. So that's it. Your Honor, please recall this morning's trial when Director Cosmos was on the stand. The bullet that hit the oxygen tank was extremely small, maybe a .10 caliber. This little compact gun probably takes bullets of that caliber. Looks like this is the gun that was fired at the scene. I'm flabbergasted. The lighter was a gun? So when Detective Fulbright would touch his holster, that's right, whenever he mentioned the Earth's emblem, he must have subconsciously thought about the secret behind the lighter. In other words, he knew it was a gun from the very beginning. A lighter that transforms into a gun seems like a spy gadget to me. Yeah, it's half of that paper. It's not the kind of thing any ordinary person can get their hands on. In fact, I'd say it's strictly in the domain of elite spies. Detective Fulbright, you will explain yourself. There's nothing for me to explain. I didn't know the lighter could transform. I mean, it was found in the Space Museum, and then I brought it straight in. I didn't even have time to check it out. Whenever you mentioned the Earth emblem, you touched your holster. You subconsciously did that because you knew it was a gun. Use me all you want, but where's your proof? Do you have any evidence that I knew the lighter was a gun? Exactly. And whose prints are on it? It's Sykes' prints. It proves that she's the culprit who fired the gun at the scene. Well, she was also... wasn't she unconscious? Nearby? It would appear that the detective is right. You guys really trying to prove your client innocent or what? Although it pains me to do this, now that we are where we are, I have to make the following assertions, coming from the prosecution side. The person who fired the gun at Director Cosmos in the lounge after the incident, the person Miss Blackwell saw holding the lighter, and the person who murdered Mr. Turan, the person who bombed the Space Center, are all the defendant, Athena Sykes. The prints on the lighter are decisive proof. No! How do you see? A man on the side of justice couldn't possibly be the culprit. And I think this about sums up Miss Sykes' part in the whole affair. The evidence certainly does seem to point to the defendant's guilt. Do you have anything to say, Prosecutor Blackwell? Evidence is everything in court. Therefore, Fulbright's claims stand firm. But calm down, Apollo. Just saying that because he has to as the prosecutor. Mr. Lawyer, our job is to pursue criminals in the name of justice. We shouldn't cast suspicion on people based on something as dubious as habit. Sorry, one sec. I want to make sure I'm getting it all. So there's 3 bad endings, but I don't see a third one. Oh wait, no, I do. We're not there yet. In fact, you have a bad habit of showing up in court with an awful case of bedhead,
Objection!
says the man who wears sunglasses at night. It's proof you want, it's proof you'll get. I'll prove that this lighter is not Miss Sykes, but yours. Hmm? Sounds like you've hit on something, Apollo. It's just, if the prints on the lighter are the basis for accusing Athena, I think we should reconsider the credibility of the evidence itself. You mean you think this lighter might be forged evidence? That's right. Be part of Fulbright's bigger plot. Did you do anything out of the ordinary while I was off on my own? I can definitely think of a few things. It is indeed. Have a look at this. What's this? A lighter? Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Oh yes, I happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. We assume he's been laying a big trap for us all along. Gotta be something off about this piece of evidence. What's wrong with the lighter as a piece of evidence? The owner of the prints? Why would she have the lighter in the first place? Like reverse engineering. Really Athena's fingerprints? Definitely matched her print data. But what about the data itself? Detective Fulbright, you were the one who provided us with the lighter and print data. Isn't that correct? Yes. What about it? You say Miss Sykes's prints match the print data. I have to wonder, was the data you used official? Mr. Wright, are you suggesting the evidence might have been fabricated? I guess there's only one way to find out. Re-examine the prints. Using the official sanctioned print data of the people involved in this case. What? You dare insult the epitome of justice and integrity? There's no need for such antics.
Silence.
Your Honor, I lend my voice to the defense's request. You must allow the test to be rerun. Very well then, bailiff. It appears that the official data is here. The results? It's just as the defense claims. This proves that the prints on the lighter do not belong to the defendant. Yes. Fingerprints actually belong to the victim, Mr. Clay Turan. That beautiful boy. Oh my good lord. Those were Clay's fingerprints on the lighter? Ah, I see. I see. Come to think of it. Wasn't it you, Fulbright, who collected the victim's prints? I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. You took the deceased fingerprints. You could have easily planted his prints on the lighter with his blood. After which you wiped the blood off of his hand. Yeah. By your own admission, you were also the one who compiled the phony print data. All to put the blame on Miss Sykes. Yeah. This ploy must have been to distract us from the Phantom who was behind everything. You were out to create the impression that the Phantom wasn't the true culprit. So, does this mean Detective Fulbright really is the Phantom? Remember the killer's escape route? No ordinary person would have been fearless enough to attempt it. Nobody but the Phantom, the man with no emotions, could have done it. Yeah. Detective Fulbright, you were the only one who could have used that escape route. I... Fulbright, Are you really the Phantom? Answer me, or so help me, I will slash you to tiny slivers where you stand. Yeah, alright, I'll talk. I confess. I'm not the Phantom.
Silence.
It's all over. Now be a man and admit it already. But I'm not a spy. I'm an undercover investigator. I've actually been after the Phantom myself. An under-the-cover investigator? That sounds like less than wholesome to me. Person who hides his identity and secretly investigates in order to uncover information. That's what you really are, Fulbright? That's right. I was working to track down the Phantom, but sadly, even though I was supposed to catch the spy ended up catching me. He took my family hostage and forced me to cooperate with him. What?
Objection!
You're telling us this now? You say this is true, then who was the mystery person Miss Blackwell and Mr. Starbuck saw? It was the Phantom, I tell you. All I did was help him by having that emergency ladder lowered for him.
Objection!
I don't believe you. Then how do you explain the fabricated ladder? That was one of the Phantom's demands. Being the detective in charge of the case, it was easy for me to fabricate evidence. Pinning the crime on Athena Sykes was just another one of the Phantom's orders. You expect me to buy that? Fulbright, what was the Phantom's ultimate objective? I was told it was to sabotage the rocket launch. Someone who didn't want the launch to happen must have given him the order. Actually, I have to apologize to you too. Phantom told me to get close to you. Ordered me to get back that psych profile you have on him. So he sent a buzzard of his own to tail me this past year, did he? I haven't been a champion of justice. I've just been a pawn of evil. A pawn of the Phantom who stole the moon rock and killed Dr. Sykes 7 years ago. I don't know, I feel like this is the classic case of trying to admit to a lesser crime to get off for the major one. But we'll see. Enough, Fulbright. Just tell us the Phantom's true identity. I don't know. He's very careful to hide it. It's top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. So there's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believed I was the Phantom, I could be killed on the spot. Why, I bet even now there are assassins lurking nearby. This case is about the Phantom, after all. The ceiling blown off, I suppose you are vulnerable to a sniper shot in this courtroom. Just 2 seconds ago, Fulbright was treating Athena like a criminal. You really think he's going to lie his way out of it now? On the surface, everything does seem to make sense. This could be bad, Mr. Wright. We can't find a flaw in his logic. That's right. We've come all this way. We can't let Fulbright wriggle free now. There. I finally told the truth. Now I hope you see how foolish it was to think I was the Phantom. You're an intelligent man, Prosecutor Blackwell. You believe me, right? Believe you. I don't think you're the Phantom. What? You say that, Prosecutor Blackwell. It's obvious he's the Phantom.
Silence.
Evidence is everything, right, Donal? You must admit there's no clear evidence that Fulbright is the Phantom. Yes. As I recall, the only solid proof we've seen up to this point is the fact that Detective Fulbright fabricated evidence. But known Fulbright here for a year now. And all this time, he's been quite intent on rehabilitating me. I don't believe his efforts were a lie. Prosecutor Blackwell? This fool truly thought he could reform a death row inmate like me. He went so out of his way in his efforts for me. He actually became quite a nuisance, really. Oh, Prosecutor Blackwell, you believe me? Please tell me Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't really been taken in by this big phony. However, even if it was against your will, you still acted as the Phantom's accomplice. You'll have to pay the price for that. Throw yourself at my mercy, and don't you ever betray me again. Have you got that? Yes, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, oh, oh. Such a bond of trust is a rare and beautiful thing. In any case, it looks like everything has been resolved. I can now hand down a not guilty verdict with confidence. Ha 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 ha. Very good. I'm very glad to hear it. It's all over. Everything's been cleared up, and Miss Sykes will go free as well. Mr. Wright, we can't let the trial end here. If we do, the Phantom, the man who killed Clay, will get away. I know, but... what do I do? I don't have any proof that Detective Fulbright is the Phantom. Is this it? You want to get away just like that? Now, if you'll excuse me, my next investigation awaits. And with that... I'm off!
The defense. No, wait. The defense. The defendant feels it's not time for a verdict yet. I would like to see this trial continue.
What? But I was just about to declare you innocent of all charges.
This doesn't feel right to be standing here. Hey, Apollo, think you could scooch over?
Dina, what are you doing? We don't get held in contempt of court.
I have some questions for you, Detective Fulbright. Are you relieved that you are no longer under suspicion of being the Phantom? Are you grateful to Prosecutor Blackwell for what he's done for you?
Of course I am. And I'm truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. Athena, where are you going with these questions?
I haven't to hear a single emotion behind any of Detective Fulbright's words, boss. The suspicion against him has been cleared up, but he's not feeling happy at all.
What does that mean?
We may not have any evidence. The heart doesn't lie.
That's it. Your special ability, we just might be able to stop him.
Your Honor, the detective has been deeply traumatized by our accusations.
Yes, well, even before all this, I thought he was a rather odd fellow.
He doesn't get counseling right away. Who knows what might happen to him?
Hee 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 hee. Hoo hoo hoo. Prosecutor Blackwell, can you believe the nonsense the defense is spouting? Fulbright, I think you'd better have that counseling. Not you too. I don't believe in counseling. Been making batty remarks ever since you were accused of being the Phantom. Such as, you're an undercover investigator, your family has been taken hostage. Here you might have finally lost it. But I thought you believed me.
Silence.
Oh, how you amuse me so. What's going on here?
That was an excellent bit of psychological manipulation just now, Simon.
I knew you would catch on, Athena. Huh? Mind filling me in here?
Guess we left you in the dust, huh, Mr. A? Simon was only pretending to believe Detective Fulbright, so he knew I'd notice if there was a lack of emotions like joy or relief in his response. But he gave me the chance to take a listen. And listen I did to the voice of Detective Fulbright's heart. What? You two were working together just now? Come now, Athena. Show us what's inside Fulbright's heart. You got it. Check the instant replay. Widget, mon ami, let's do this. With all his over-the-top expressions and gestures, he's registering no emotion at all? Just like I thought, and right in line with the Phantom's psych profile. Detective Fulbright, his lack of emotion proves you're the Phantom. Hey, what's going on? Wait, hold it. What do you think you're doing, Detective? Me? I'm not doing anything. Trying to hack into the Mood Matrix program. Can't do anything with it like this. Yeah. In the courtroom, straight up objecting it, and by it, oh, let's just say my prosecutor. What's up, Alex? Fancy device you have there. But I'll tolerate no cheating, thank you. Sorry about that. As an undercover agent, I tend to use my secret arsenal without even thinking. More like as a spy. Thanks, Prosecutor Blackwell. There. Now that you can't hack me anymore. I dare you to try to hide your lack of emotions from us. Lack of emotion? What are you talking about? Of course I have feelings. As a matter of fact, you've wounded me very deeply with that accusation. What's going on? All of a sudden, I'm getting an overwhelmingly happy reading. Huh? But he's literally crying us a river over there. Oops, my mistake. How about this? Gah! Yikes, now he's angry all of a sudden? What's he trying to pull? Like as not, it would appear our friend is not completely without emotion. It's just as it says in Dr. Sykes' profile of the Phantom. The subject has a unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. Oh, I get it. So he has some emotions, right? Precisely, which leads me to wonder why you can't sense any emotions from him at all. I believe it's most likely because he's controlling his emotions. Very, very good, Prosecutor Blackwell. You are correct. It's the result of my daily training. A very important skill for us undercover investigators, you know. More like for us spies, seriously. I wonder why he suddenly showed several strong emotions. Wait a minute. I think I know. Since there's a feeling you're trying to hide with your exaggerated emotions, Detective. A feeling I'm trying to hide? That's a good one. You're the ones who have been saying I'm the Phantom because I don't have any emotions. I was just trying to show you the range of deep emotions I truly possess. You have no objections to me analyzing you, right? No. Analyze away. But I will state it again. I am not the Phantom. And be forewarned that your analysis will have no effect. Because you're about to see what an undercover agent can really do. Whoa.
Me, the Phantom? No way. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh. See, I told you I have emotions. How dare you accuse me of being someone who would kill over a moon rock? I do regret cooperating with the Phantom, of course. But I'm so glad this whole misunderstanding is cleared up now. What the? How are we supposed to pick out what's unnatural from this mess?
I don't know what we can do with this either.
Must be his defenses against your ability.
So you think this is what he meant by what he's really capable of?
I need to know what's going on inside that guy's head. Well, we know he's hiding something, and that he feels threatened by Athena. Being only human, his true feelings and emotion he can't completely conceal. Must be hidden somewhere in his testament. Bro, I don't know. This man's having a fucking mental breakdown over here. I guess the sadness one looks kind of normal. Just going, wow, wow, wow. Found it. Found the one emotion you're truly feeling. What? Hid in the middle of that chaotic storm. I saw one emotion that never disappeared. When you talked about the moon rock, you felt a fear that wouldn't fade. Fear, huh? A fear that a man with hardly any emotions feels, huh? Was a response to that moon rock. Detective Fulbright, presume you feel fear concerning the moon rock because, you failed to steal it or your identity will be revealed. I don't think you, did he lose it? You lost it! No, I think the only reason why he felt fear was probably because his identity was revealed. Of course, that's it. Enough, Fulbright. Just tell us the Phantom's true identity. I don't know. He was very careful to hide it. He has top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. There's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believed I was the Phantom, I'd be killed on the spot. Why, I bet even now. There are assassins lurking nearby. This case is about the Phantom, after all. Detective Fulbright, I think I know why you would feel afraid. You're afraid that the moon rock will somehow reveal your identity. Well, the identity revealed, you would be killed immediately. That's certainly enough to make even the Phantom feel afraid. Me afraid? I don't know what you're talking about. So really is something about the moon rock that would reveal his identity? Apparently so. Wait a minute. Maybe the Phantom didn't so much steal the moon rock, more like he had to take it with him. There was something on it that would reveal his true identity.
Hold it!
Where do you think you're going? Me? I'm not going anywhere. Wanted some ceiling time. Just me, or was he going to use that weird watch thing to try to get away? How many more of those toys does he have? Where can I get myself some? Detective Fulbright, you will answer honestly to this court right now. Why do you feel fear in connection with the moon rock? In justice we trust, not emotions, Mr. Lawyer. Evidence is everything. I'm the Phantom because I'm afraid. Don't make me laugh. Yeah. And what was that just now? But all human beings have hearts and experience emotions. Sometimes analyzing a case from the psychological perspective is the best way to find the truth. It's all just a waste of time. All your efforts at analysis serve no purpose. And now, in this dark age of the law, nobody would believe your claim that it's effective. Era where evidence is fabricated, do you truly expect feelings to be accepted as proof? And where exactly is your proof that I fear the moon rock anyway? Well, I admit I don't have any conventional proof. Calling it now, he's an alien or some shit? Oh my god. But I still say that examining a person's heart has its merits. Oh, really? Then why don't you listen carefully with those special ears of yours? Listen to the voices of the hearts of the people in the gallery. All I hear is distrust. As you can see, the people are on my side. Because all they see is a strange little girl using a weird little machine. It's not like I use analytical psychology to falsely accuse people. Uh-oh, it's got Athena doubting herself. Sykes' analytical psychology has breathed a new life into the courtroom. It has freed the hearts of many witnesses and has been key in getting to the truth. What nonsense. Your Honor, the defense's claim is a false one. I don't feel any kind of fear when it comes to the moon rock. I see. Well, I guess that's it then. Very well. We'll give the opinion of this court. In a trial, I don't feel that a person's emotions are quite as compelling as actual evidence is. But, Your Honor... There, you see, nobody believes you and your trumped-up charges. However, I do believe Miss Sykes' analyses can contribute to making the truth clear. I have seen her do this firsthand several times already. Surely you jest. So does this mean you'll accept my findings in this trial, Your Honor? Yes, I believe your claim, Miss Sykes. I think there is merit in examining why the witness feels fear in regard to the moon rock. That is the court's opinion on this matter. Then that's a win for me. No, a win for analytical psychology. Now, Mr. Phantom, you will tell this court the reason for your fear. Analytical psychology, my fears? Fine. I'll show you precisely why those abstract things can't be considered evidence. Okay, this is apparently where the third bad ending is gonna come in. Felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Phantom. Yes, I'm very afraid of him because he took my family hostage.
What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the Moon Rock? None at all. The very fact that I'm afraid of the Moon Rock means I'm not him. In fact, I'm on the side of justice. I guess. And there you have it. How do you see why I'm afraid of the Moon Rock? Sure, you sound convincing enough. So does any two-bit con artist. It's all meaningless in the absence of evidence. I'm imagining this guy sounding like Microsoft Sam. Phantom is like the mist. No flesh, no bones. My sword alone cannot cut it. Right, Dono? Huh? With your deductive reasoning and the body of evidence before us, let us send this miserable Phantom fellow to the other world together. You and I, Prosecutor Blackwell, we have a duty to bring the Phantom down and restore the people's faith in the prince. Indeed, by covering for Athena, I allowed the Phantom to escape. And as a prosecutor, I gave birth to the people's mistrust with my murder conviction. I bear part of the responsibility as well, being suspected of forging evidence and losing my attorney's badge as a result. Right, but wasn't that for... That wasn't for this... Oh, that... I guess... No, because that was the first case, I guess, that led... this case also... They did say that. These were the two cases. So the end of the fourth game's case, in this case. I gotta keep up with the lore. The two of us and the Phantom were there at the beginning of the Dark Age of the Law. It is also our burden to cut away the foul specter we created, is it not? Until all that remains, the righteousness of the court and the faith of the people. Trust, understanding, fragile ideals of the masses who are controlled by emotion. Humans can't truly trust each other, which is exactly why the illusion of trust is so enticing.
Objection!
Once two people overcome their misgivings, that's where real trust is to be found. You're free to believe what you want, but trust like that is stronger than you and your lies, always. Okay, so for this, I just need to keep getting it wrong. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pee, and I'm gonna take the Switch with me, because it's probably gonna take a minute to do this, as it usually does, because I gotta skip through all the dialogue 4 times. So I'm gonna go pee, and then I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm afraid that's as far as we can go. This time, it appears you can't prove that the witness is the Phantom. All we can do is look forward to seeing what the prosecutor can dig up in the... Damn. After that, the Phantom vanished completely. The case remained unsolved, and we were never able to uncover the truth. Days passed, the dark age of the law grew darker and darker. Okay, that wasn't that dark as the other ones. Alright. We are right at the end of this, so I'm gonna go ahead and do what needs to be done.
Objection!
Apparently it's this. Detective Fulbright, I assume you know what this is. Of course, that's the knife the Phantom used to kill Clay Turan. That's right. Exact same type of knife Sykes used 7 years ago. Stabbed the Phantom's hand. Yes, that was discussed earlier, as I recall. Dodged it first, so I only got his clothes. But I tried again. This time you got him, didn't you? I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went into the back of his hand. Sykes then stated that she remembers the culprit bleeding. It's my theory that the culprit's blood got onto the moon rock. Afraid that if the blood was analyzed, his true identity would... Explains why the Phantom had to remove the moon rock from the crime scene. You mean if we ran the analysis now, we'd know who the Phantom is? Well, yes, I suppose so. But unfortunately, the moon rock in question is missing. That may be so. I'm certain I can explain what happened in great detail. And, of course, not. You don't actually expect us to believe that, do you? Because you don't fool me. Yeah. What this court needs is a bully-free zone. The infamous sword of beguiling bluff. Its edge is without compare. Come now, ready it with me. Show us just how finely it cuts. Your Honor, this is an outrage. I mean, this is an outrage? Yeah. Go on, right there. Let's start with something that's been bothering me for a while. Now, the culprit supposedly removed the moon rock from the lab. But in this video of him, it's nowhere to be seen. Oh, you're right. Here's something to consider. What if the Phantom hid the moon rock somewhere at the scene of the crime? Good thinking, boss. Security was super tight at the Space Center back then. All that in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle a withered old leaf through those checkpoints. Does this mean that the moon rock is still somewhere in the Space Center? In the name of justice, I proclaim that's impossible. And why is that? The Space Center was searched from top to bottom, and especially the lab. The moon rock was never found. How could I forget about that? A sad but true fact. Still haven't a grasp on how it was done. But the Phantom made the moon rock vanish into the ether. No way, it just disappeared. Logic and evidence tells us otherwise. Phantom didn't have the moon rock on. Yet a thorough police search didn't turn up any. It never turned up in the 7 years after that. I can't stand it. Phantom made the rock disappear without physically removing it himself. But how? Must have been a way. Think, Phoenix, think. Where did the moon rock vanish from the robotics lab? So can you or can you not show what happened to the moon rock? Was the moon rock the earring? Is it the earring? Yes, I can, Your Honor. What? Oops, sorry. I mean, what? In that case, let's have your answer, Mr. Wright. How did the Phantom make the moon rock disappear from the crime scene? How, how indeed? Was it the Hope capsule? That's the Hope capsule, right? Okay, 1 second. Closing out, mix it up for a second. I want to get my chat is just filled with these fucking from all the Final Fantasy streams that we've done, all those fucking YouTube things. It's hard to even like look at chat anymore. Just like all those. I wonder if I close it and reopen it, I'd be able to see chat again. Like paranoid that I'll like miss a message or something. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, cool, that worked. Yay! Epic. You know what I was, every time I open Mix It Up, I'll see the fucking, the guy with the swastika profile picture that came in and was like, rate my profile pic. And it's like, no, I'd rather not. And then it was just it was just stuck in my chat history the whole time. That's the Hope capsule, right? The one that went up with the Hat 1 rocket? Couldn't carry the rock out, but couldn't leave it in the center to be found either. There was only one safe place to stash it. Hope capsule that was there in the lab that day. Yes. And the team must have loaded it into the Hope space probe eventually. But if that's what happened, Moonrock would have been launched up into space along with the rocket. Preposterous! It would mean that for these past 7 years the Moonrock was... Exactly. Phantom got rid of the Moonrock in the most cosmic way he knew how. It was out there in the depths of space, aboard the Hope space probe. What? What? Order! Order in the court! I understand now. The Phantom's original scheme was to sabotage the Hat One anyway. The villain used his primary objective to conveniently kill two birds with one stone. That's right. He planned for the Moonrock to be turned into cosmic dust out in space, thereby destroying the one piece one piece of evidence that could reveal his true identity. Mr. Starbuck and the others foiled the Phantom's plot.
Hope Space sailed off safely. Its mission returned 7 years later. The capsule in tow. We analyzed the blood on the moon rock. It should make one thing crystal clear. That you were the Phantom all along, Detective Fulbright. That you were... yeah. So we killed Clay just so we could get the moon rock back? I believe so. His original assignment may have been just to sabotage the hat too, but at the same time he also had to retrieve the evidence of his crimes 7 years ago. That's why he went to the boarding lounge and attacked Clay as he made his escape out of the rocket with the capsule. But in the end, it was all he could do just to escape himself, so he didn't get the capsule. He must have done everything he could to stop Fulbright. Probably hung on to that capsule for all it was worth until his very last breath. What's up, Zewer? Oh, this is so funny. You make me laugh. You really do. But he's totally out of whack now. It's game over for you, Detective Fulbright. Why don't you just admit it to... Why don't you just admit to it all now? There's nothing to admit. I'm Bobby Fulbright, undercover investigator, I tell you. I am not the Phantom. The blood on the rock is just another one of his schemes. A trap. Now I'm not sure what to think. I suppose if the Phantom is a spy worth his salt, a trap is not out of the question. But in that case, you could say anything is a trap. How are you, stranger guy? I'm doing alright. I'm doing strange. How are you, my friend? That's what makes a trap a trap. I've been framed into taking the blame for the Phantom. Your Honor, I believe further investigation is in order. Further investigation, or like plotting your escape. But no more. I will bring you to justice, if I must. Myself, here and now. I guess it's time to show you just what I'm really capable of. Die, Simon Blackwell! Hey, you guys aren't really... Oh my god. He's back. I'm glad to hear that. It looks like I made it just in time. Edgeworth! I have good news for you, Mr. Wright. I've uncovered some very crucial facts. Did you find something out about the Phantom's true identity? You might say that. I started by looking into the first people on the scene 7 years ago. I also brought you a nice little bento box. So, there you go. Don't think of anything of it. It's not like I like you or anything. Baka. All three, an employee and 2 officers, were registered in the robot's recognition systems, but none of them looked the least bit like Detective Fulbright. That's not good. There's more. I've yet to share my most important finding. Mr. Wright, Prosecutor Blackwell, you'd best brace yourselves. Uh-oh. The man you see there before you, Bobby Fulbright, is already long dead. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? An unidentified body that was found a year ago.
has now been proven to possess Bobby Fulbright's fingerprints. But does this mean... Yes. That man there is an imposter pretending to be Bobby Fulbright. Boom, 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 boom. Holy shit. What? An imposter? Then this man, who in the world is he? Enough of your trickery. You will not reveal yourself to us. And I shall do it for you. Oh my god. What the? No! His face! Sorry. Oh, look at what you did to my mask. Mask? What is the meaning of this, witness? Oh my god. Who is it gonna be? Okay, you got me. I guess I have to show you who I really am now. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh god, what's gonna be? No fucking way. No fucking my brain is broken. I can't, dude. I can't. This is crazy, dude. You gotta be kidding me, dude. It was him the whole time? Dog. I see random streams and you appear to me. I'll only be here for seconds and I'll give you a like and time just to make you feel good and go on the way. Oh, that's sweet of you. I appreciate the positivity. There are a lot of people that have come on, especially on the YouTube side. The YouTube side that are usually like trolls and stuff. So it's nice to see some positivity from YouTube chatters. Context? Well, we acquitted. Let's see. Clay Turan, or not Clay. Solomon Starbuck was he was the guy who was, we were defending him in a previous case, and so it turns out he was the guy. I guess it turns out he was the guy who did the murder. So that's kind of crazy. Wait, but that's... Hey, Apollo. Yup, it's me, Solomon Starbuck. Mr. Starbuck, but that can't be right. You can't really be the Phantom, can you? Of course not. The real Starbuck was aboard the Half-One. Was set to be destroyed. Yeah, this is just another mask. I mean, didn't I tell you? An undercover investigator. Can change identities. Oh my god. So it's not him. It can be anyone I want. Not so fast. I have the Phantom Psych profile right here. Compile a Psych profile on you and compare the results. We'll prove that you're the Phantom. It's time for me to show you the real meaning of the phrase, the end justifies the means. That voice, those words. Stop. I cannot accept such evidence here, Miss Sykes. Professor Means is mask? I'll take what I want by any means necessary. Now give me that evidence. Huh? Time to take out the trash. How could you? That is illegal. How do you see now how powerful the end justifies the means can be? A pathetic. You can't even speak without wearing another man's face. Ah, but that's the life of an undercover agent for you. My real face has no meaning or value to me at all. Or perhaps it's really the case that you don't even know who you are anymore. What must you see when you look in a mirror, Mr. Phantom? Mr. Phantom, not an awful lot, I'd wager. That man just tried to play. I don't know what's going on, dude. Well, aren't you just the master of psychology, Blackwood? That's right, I don't know who I am. I am always living as someone else for my assignments. I don't remember what my face looks like, or even what my personality was like. My face, memories, personality, beliefs, emotions, and soul, I left them all behind. I have no self. I am no one. I am nothing but an endless abyss. What's with this guy? Is he even still human? And now we resume with your lesson, Professor, right? Oh, huh? I believe you made this argument earlier. If you were to analyze the blood on the moon rock, you could prove that I am the Phantom. I believe there is blood on the moon rock in that capsule. Now that we know you aren't even Bobby Fulbright, your claims of a phantom trap won't work anymore. Then why don't you bring this moon rock in? This decisive evidence from the Hope capsule? I think I will do just that. Get ready, because the Hope capsule is about to seal your... Bro! It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens. Looks like you have finally caught on. Full marks for the defense for effort. But what a shame your hope was lost in that courtroom explosion. So that's the real reason this courtroom was blown up. It was all for the Phantom to destroy that one piece of evidence. Can't believe it. We really reached a dead end after coming all this way? Is the only evidence we have on this guy really been destroyed? Dare you continue to call me the Phantom? As I've said all along, I'm just a nameless undercover agent.
Objection!
The defense will continue to assert that you are the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof. Or at least a prayer. I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright. That guy not be human? The same smile on the giant statue for solo leveling. I don't even think that's... I think that's another mask. Seems like. He's just like playing a bunch of like previous characters. At least put some weight behind your swing, right, Jono? I know, I'm trying. There's only one thing that can unmask this menace, the moon rock. That was blown to bits in the courtroom bombing. Yet, is it really gone without a trace? What if some tiny part, some little fragment still exists? Yes, and you can see the stolen moon rock there too. Strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture? Very well, Mr. Wright, let's see your proof. What evidence will finally prove the Phantom's identity?
Take that!
Whoops, that was definitely not what I meant to press. Let's try this again. I think... Where was it? There was a picture, I think, wasn't there? Yeah.
Take that!
Isn't that the bomb that blew up the courtroom and the moon rock along with it? Are you saying this will reveal the Phantom's identity? Yes, Your Honor. Focus your attention on this photo taken after the bombing, specifically right here. 7K.
Please take a look at this newspaper article. This article about the hat won? Now please note that the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. That's the moon rock. And when we look at this photo of the bomb fragments, see how there's a rock-like object with the same coloration? Oh my, yes, I see it. Sorry. It would seem that the moon rock was much more durable than the Phantom thought. We take a look at the fragments that the police found, we'll likely find one with blood. And DNA testing on that blood will prove that the witness is indeed the Phantom. Unbelievable. But that's impossible. Surprised to be sure. That's one bloody tough rock. Let us have the fragments tested straight away. Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too, fool, right? Bailiff, contact the police department immediately and order the testing. Imagine the judge being the accused wearing a mask. Big plot twist. Oh my god, if the judge was actually the defendant, or if the judge murdered somebody after all these games, I would be honestly heartbroken, because I've become kind of attached to him, to be honest with you. Prosecutor Blackwood, what do the test results show? There's a rock fragment that had blood on it that appears to be several years old. DNA testing revealed. Well, I'm sure you know full well what it revealed. They confirmed it was the witness's blood, didn't they? There's no use in trying to talk your way out of it anymore. Admit it, you are the Phantom. Huh? Mr. Wright, did you just raise an objection to yourself? No, I didn't say a word. That was my objection, Apollo. Huh? Oh my god. Give it a rest. Why? It's a pretty good objection, too, don't you think? Now he's me. So, did you have an objection or not, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, no, not really, Your Honor. No, not you, Mr. Wright. I mean the witness, Mr. Wright. This trial get any more insane. Mr. Wright, this fragment of rock in the photograph, and those just like it. How can you be sure that they're pieces of the same moon rock that was at the robotics lab? Try to explain what you mean? Well, there may have been a rock or two in the courtroom that had my blood on it. But how do you know they're not just rocks? You can't prove that they're the moon rock, right? Don't be absurd. Just compare the fragment with the rock in the newspaper article. Anybody can see they're the same. They have the exact same coloration. Maybe some other rock with the same coloration happened to be in the courtroom. It's highly unlikely a rock with such a unique appearance just happened to be here. You can't deny it's a possibility. But your blood was found on one of the fragments. Although there's nothing suspicious about my blood being on a piece of rock. And why not? I know it sounds like an excuse, but several years ago I tripped and fell in this very courtroom. I was hurt pretty badly. This guy's Yuta or what? He copy faces, no curse, for real. I guess he's a spy. So he can turn into anybody. I guess that's his excuse. Maybe that's how my blood found its way onto a piece of rubble. Even he must realize how ridiculous that sounds. And yet I suppose it's not completely out of the question. I see you're starting to sweat, Mr. Wright.
I thought that the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're the last person I want to hear that from. Well, then why don't we get those fragments analyzed? We could ask an expert to verify if they were from the moon rock in the robotics lab or not. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that just isn't going to be possible. And why not? In order to prove that the fragments are from what you say they're from, you need a sample of the moon rock from 7 years ago to compare it with. But that moon rock doesn't exist anymore, and there's no sample data left either. So you see, short of going back in time, there's no way to prove that any of the fragments are from the moon rock. Oh, no. Oh, I bet there is. There's really no way to prove it? Are you finally ready to throw in the towel? I red smiling face. So the moon rock doesn't exist anymore, huh? That's right. Such a valuable rock, too. A shame, really. But it's lost to us forever. He's wrong. It's not completely lost. There's another piece of it right here by our side. A shining fragment of hope that can turn everything around. Final piece of evidence to put this phantom away for good. The defense has a piece of evidence that completely contradicts your claim. You have what now? A final fragment of hope that was passed down with great love and care. We do? We do, even if the person holding it hasn't realized it yet. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Pay no attention to him, Your Honor. He's just bluffing as usual. I wonder if you'll be able to force your biggest smile when you see what I've got. Try me. Piece of evidence that shows the original moon rock isn't completely lost is this. The moon rock earring. But just about the only thing my mother left with me are widget and this earring. Maybe she did love me in her own way. Athena, you may not know it, but your mother left with you a very important piece of evidence. She did? You're bluffing. You don't have anything of the kind. Oh, but we do. Evidence that will finally corner you. Because we have a moon rock of our own. Yeah. Yeah. Oh! You mean... Exactly. A gift Dr. Sykes left her daughter. An item Athena has cherished and worn all these years. As distant as Dr. Sykes may have seemed to her daughter, that fragment of her love will shake off the darkness of the past and give us all hope for the future. This is the defense's sample of the moon rock. Did you just throw that at me? That's your sample? This earring that Miss Sykes always wears was made from that original moon rock. What? All this time, it was right here all along? No, it can't be. The composition of the bombed fragments and the earring are found to be a match, and it will prove beyond the shadow of a doubt the origin of the fragment in this photo. And since the test results show that the blood on the fragment was yours. Hey, thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you. You have a good rest of your stream your stream browsing. Since the test results showed that the blood on the fragments is yours. This means that the identity you tried so hard to hide will finally be revealed. The identity I tried to hide? I don't have any. I don't have an identity to hide. I may not have Athena's ears, but now even I can hear the fear in your voice.
Fear? I don't feel fear. I left all of my emotions behind years ago. Every human being feels fear. You simply can't face the emotions inside you. You can't face them because you have nothing. No love, no trust. I suppose you do. I didn't have anybody to support me at first either. I couldn't face the fear inside me. Couldn't get over the trauma of my past. Like I said, I don't feel fear. And you're just a coward for running away from yourself. When I had my doubts about Miss Sykes, I felt like I could collapse. I would collapse under the weight. But I wanted to trust her. I knew I could trust Mr. Wright to uncover the truth. That's why I was able to face my suspicions without hesitation. Running away from myself. How can I run away from myself? When there's nothing inside, nothing at all. I know it's hard for someone as unwilling to trust others as you to understand. People have emotions. It's just a fact of life. And so people can be weak at times. But that's exactly why people need to trust one another. So they can gain the strength to face themselves when things are at their bleakest. Without trust in others, how can you ever hope to face your fears? You're inside of me? Is this... No! Ah! Ah! I'm afraid. I'm scared. I feel fear. You can't outrun yourself. Remove that mask and unleash your emotions. Confront your guilt head on. With your own true face. The eyes. My own true face. No, please don't. I know you're here. Where are you? See, I haven't revealed anything yet. Honest. Uh, my own true face. I don't have one. My face, my face, my face. Oh my god. Whoa. Is this my face? Is it? Is it? No, that's not it. No. This isn't me either. Is this me? Which one is my face? What am I? Who am I? Oh. Ugh. Sniper attack in this very courtroom. Chills me to my bones. The police are doing everything they can to track down the sniper as we speak. Prosecutor Blackwell, how was Detective Fulbright, his imposter doing? The lucky fellow. Bullet didn't hit any vital organs. Appears to be in no danger of dying. Well, that was fortunate for all of us. The analysis of the final piece of evidence Wright Dono submitted is in. Composition of Miss Sykes' earring and the fragment with the blood on it match. We can now be certain that it is a fragment of the moon rock in question. The murders and bombings of the Space Center, both past and present. Bombing of courtroom number 4 and all of his other crimes, as numerous as the stars. Under suspicion of all these things, the spy known as the Phantom has been incarcerated. The prosecutor's office is now responsible for his well-being. There are still a myriad of things we wish him to tell us about after all.
Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, it's time to finally bring this trial to an end. But before I do, the defendant please return to her proper place.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, this court finds the defendant Athena Sykes not guilty. Court is adjourned. Whew. Finally. December 20th, 9:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 5.
Congratulations, Mr. Nick.
Thank you, Pearls, and thank you for being here for Athena.
It's the least I could do. But Athena was great, wasn't she? She was so strong throughout the whole trial. Daddy, I'm so glad to see you.
Trucy, are you alright? Are you hurt?
I'm fine, Daddy. I was doing magic tricks for the other hostages to keep our spirits up.
That's our Trucy for you. I'm glad to see you're safe. Right. I fear I owe you another debt of gratitude. Edgeworth? We never would have caught him if it weren't for all of you. Oh, come on, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? You're the ones who have been tracking the Phantom all this time. Plus, you were the one who gave Blackwell permission to serve as prosecutor, right? Well, we knew the Phantom was somewhere nearby. The police and I were trying to find him, but we never did manage to do so until this trial. Well, we never would have won this trial without you. It was your help as chief prosecutor that was the key to its successful conclusion. Besides, it was you that saw to it I got my attorney's badge back, right? So you figured it out, did you? Yeah, getting my license back went just a little too smoothly, you know? Should have been much harder after that evidence forging scandal. Well, I owed you a few favors. Hey, Edgeworth, think we can finally bring the dark age of the law to an end? Even the darkest night turns to dawn eventually. Our sun will rise again. Besides, now that Prosecutor Blackwell has been cleared of all charges, a great deal of the mistrust towards the court system should have been swept away. You know, you could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth. Won't kill you. Instead, the furrows on that brow of yours just keep getting deeper and deeper. So I should smile more, huh? I'll think about it. Hey, hey, hot stuff. Smile more. Just slap him on the ass.
The complicated love-hate relationship between lifelong rivals.
Ah, yes. She knows.
Athena.
I'm forever in your debt. You went to all that trouble, even taking the bar exam while you were overseas.
Well, I knew that if I didn't get your sentence overturned fast, you'd be executed. So I studied and studied. I was frantic. I'm so glad I made it in time.
Oh,
Just barely. But I still made it.
atta girl, Athena. It's good to see you finally let your tears out. Yes, I survived by the skin of my teeth, thanks to you.
Shame on you, Simon, for trying to throw your life away like that.
It was never my intention to just throw my life away. Some things in this world are more important than your own life.
Like what?
My honor-bound duty to protect with my life. My mentor's most beloved treasure.
Huh?
That's some loyalty. This guy really is a samurai through and through.
Well, looks like we can breathe easy now. Apollo, Athena, thank you both. Took all of us together to pull it off. You bet, boss. What a team we are, huh? It was definitely the most amazing turnabout I've ever seen. A lucky guy. My office has the best, most capable lawyers around. Thanks, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna work extra hard to make up for all the worry I caused. Apollo Justice is fine and ready to go. Let's hear it for the new Write Anything agency. Nobody's gonna try harder than me, so you better watch out, Apollo. Simon is free thanks to Mr. Wright. There are so many more people out there who need our help. You're right. I'll be needing you both to help them. So have a long way to go. Get ready, you two. We won a major victory. The war is far from over. There's still people out there suffering under false charges who need defending. Got a lot of work ahead of us. If we ever hope to fully bring the dark age of the law to a close. Hey, I know one thing we have to do. We have to celebrate. Bowl of piping hot noodles. Oh, here we go. Huh? Nothing like a bowl of Eldoon's noodles after a trial. All on Mr. Wright's tab. That's how it works at the Write Anything agency, right, Mr. Wright? Huh? Huh? As a boss, it's your duty to express gratitude to your people for their great work. In that case, allow me to join in on the festivities. I would greatly welcome a bowl of noodles. Huh? 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 I have an idea, Daddy. Why don't you just invite everybody involved with the case? The more the merrier, right? Oh, Mr. Nick, look how far you've come. Who knew you'd grow up to be such a generous gentleman? Guys? Under these circumstances, there's only one thing I can say. Only if I get to join in. You know, fair, I want to say it too. Okay, here we go. Objection! Yay! I was trying to think of something nice I could do for Polly now that he's back. I decided to go around and get a bunch of jobs for him to do. Find a lost cat, install an air conditioner, give a computer lesson. You think I should have found him a few legal cases? Nah, that's okay. This is the Write Anything agency after all. Nina and Apollo were so wonderful in court. I better study as much as I can if I want to be a judge someday. My grandma says eat lots of peppers and they'll ignite your passion. Oh, but I should figure out which to grow. Green peppers or yellow peppers. Or maybe I should just go with hot as the sun red peppers instead. The end of the dark age of the law, you say? Tisk tisk, how naive. Don't you know it's sometimes necessary to get a guilty verdict by any means possible? What? They're putting me under investigation? The chief prosecutor wants to see me? Eek!
I've been asked to debut the great masked wrestler Ted Motaro.
He's scheduled to go up against the amazing Ninetales, though.
Oh, what to do, what to do, a fight to finish.
Why don't you ask the Mr. Demon Lawyer?
That's not a bad idea, I bet he'd be all for it. Caw, 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 caw. So we are to meet as foes, are we, my little friend?
Would you believe it? I'm alderman of Ninetales Vale now. Pretty impressive, huh? I took over after Rex Cuby got... what do you say? Would you like to make a little donation to help us out?
Hey, you, what do you think you're doing? Sneaking out in here.
Ah, the jig's up. Better make a run. I thought I wanted to be an artist, but after seeing the amazing job Athena did, I started becoming genuinely interested in law. So now I'm studying for the bar exam. I'm gonna prosecute Athena someday. You'll see. I'm studying my buns off too, but not for the bar exam. I'm going to pass the Themis entrance exam with my own merit this time. A score of 100 points, of course. You, Juniper, our dream will live on forever. I found this really sweet box of all the want to be a legal journalist instead of, but anyway, thanks for the trial. The school newspaper's future is as bright as can be. This. Now let's see what fresh blood I have. I don't remember the voice I gave her. Our editor cried so hard at the graduation so our cardboard box got greasy, or, well, I don't remember, wet. The one night only reunion concert, I still remember that evening of passion. The president of the student council sang like no high school student I've ever heard. When she's a judge in her own court someday, I'd love to have a jam session with her. It'd be the coolest trial ever, yeah? I can already hear it now. I gave this place a good cleaning from top to bottom, but it's already a mess again. I guess the only thing I can do now is clean up the attitudes of the people in this office. If Mystic Maya due to come here once her training's over, it must simply be done.
Ha ha ha. Humanity's dreams for outer space will never die. In fact, planning for the Hath-3 rocket has already officially begun. Look upon me, people of the great nation, and witness the glory of Yuri Cosmos. What do you... Oh, Director. Yes, yes. Rocket preparations are fully complete. Yes. You just leave everything to me. Assistant Director Yuri Cosmos.
I'm going to the moon in the new rocket. If Athena or Mommy Menace came to the moon, I would love to show them around. But which is more interesting? Montespirius or I don't know. You think they would like either one? Yay, hooray. I wonder how Miss Aura is doing. I'd rather be near Miss Aura than on the moon. Oh, Miss Aura, I just want you to use me again like you used to.
Okay, man. Ready for launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. I'm going to the moon for real this time. For me and for Clay. Thanks to my lawyers, I know I should never give up, but I'm worried. You can't breathe in space, and in fact, it's cold as heck. Oh man, now I'm really getting nervous. Oh. No, I am not employed here. I simply came to request their services in defense of my sister, but no one's around. I've kept waiting for a long time. What sort of case brings you here? Oh, your father was accused and you wish for Athena to defend him? Hmm. Then perhaps he and I shall meet in the courtroom in the near future. The foreshadowing? What's that about? I look forward to your next month's salary assessment.
Eek, please forgive me.
Blackwell's acquittal has brought all manner of ills into the prosecutor's office to light. It would seem solving the case has thawed the chill of the water. Now I will write yet another debt of gratitude, but I will repay him one day. And trust that. Just kiss already. Shout out to all these people. Bones. No, they did it. Bones has done a lot of things. I couldn't tell you what they've done, but they've definitely done things. 2-5. 25. Remember all these good times we had? Oh God, that case. Let me never miss. Let me never relive that. Oh, look at those boys. So cute. Quality assurance. Damn, a lot of people worked on this. I feel like considerably more than the other ones. But maybe I'm wrong. This was certainly not the best Ace Attorney, but it had its moments. The twist in this case was definitely interesting. Capcom Co. Limited. Jesus. My phone's so loud. Yay. Through the years, I've seen as much joy as heartache. Honestly, honesty is deceit. But just as Mr. Starbuck was able to escape the harsh pull of his fears and despair, I believe that hope and friendship can lift us all up towards a brighter tomorrow. The end. Or, sorry, end. No, the
we're not quite done just yet, are we? Because we have one more case in this game. I got a little time left, so let's go ahead and start it. A special episode. I've heard this one is very... A lot of people like this one. So here we go. Turnabout Reclaimed. The people love this one.
My name is Phoenix Wright,
Whoa.
head of the Wright Anything Agency and a lawyer. Although, I was doing something else entirely for a while there. As for why I decided to formally get back into lawyering, let's just say there's unfinished business to take care of. Anyway, I thought I'd reminisce about my first case back on the job. And what a case it was. It happened only a few months after Athena joined our office.
He made it just in time.
Oh my god.
We be pirates, we love to sail the seven seas. Just a bunch of scallywags who are as free can be. We swim through storms and waves, all because you see, grand treasure and adventures waiting just for me.
Okay. The singing ability could use some work, but work. July 20th, 12:37 p.m. So apparently this one starts or this one it occurs between the second and the third case for those who want to know. Today is my first day back on the job as a lawyer. Putting this attorney's badge on again really makes it hit home. Boy, am I pumped. Even Trucy said, "Looking good, Daddy." So Athena, Apollo, what do you think of the old attorney's badge? Wow. This ship-shape aquarium show is great. I can't get enough of it. Athena? I still can't believe they showed the Swashbuckler special on TV. Good thing I recorded this. Now who's ready for another viewing? I've already watched it 5 times. Let's watch something else now. How can you even suggest such a thing? This show is therapeutic. Boss here, asking you guys a question. What's so therapeutic about watching a killer whale? What? Don't you know anything? Animal-assisted therapy is an established psychiatric treatment. You're kidding. That kind of thing really exists? It's a real thing. I've been to the aquarium myself to try it, and it really helps. I still go there every now and then to further my psychology studies. Last time I went, I saw a dolphin and an orca swimming around together. It was so... Hey, do you two think you could quit goofing off and do some work for a change? Work? We've already cleaned the toilet. Twice, each. Hey, wait a minute. Is that your badge I see? Wow, congratulations on getting your attorney's badge back, boss. Thanks. Starting today, I'm officially a lawyer again. Sheesh, took him long enough to notice. Gee, Mr. Wright, with that badge on, you look suddenly so capable. Thanks? Not like I was some lazy bum, you know. But what made you suddenly so fired up to get your badge back anyway? Well, I made a promise to a certain someone. An important promise. It'd be so important. Anyway, we have 3 lawyers now, so we better start taking on lots of work. I'm all for that. Let's go get this agency hopping. Well, we have plenty of enthusiasm. All we need now are some clients. In 8 years since I last wore this badge, I feel like a rookie all over again. And this just in, the owner of Shipshape Aquarium, Captain Jack Shipley, been murdered. Suspect in the case is reportedly already in custody inside the aquarium. Isn't that the aquarium we were just washing, Athena? It is! I can't believe it. A murder at Shipshape Aquarium? But I love that place. We need to get to the bottom of this. Really? I guess I'm in luck then. Oh. I need Phoenix Wright to save my friend. Who in the world is this? Are you a client? Wait, that costume. Looks just like... I've got it. You must work at Shipshape Aquarium. That's right. You me know it. I'm Sasha Buckler. I perform like an agile catfish in our pirate show. It'll blowfish your mind. Minnow, blowfish? Those puns floundered a bit. I figured out the client's identity. Chalk one up for analytical psychology. My friend is under suspicion of murder, so I really need some help. That's why I've got to find this Phoenix Wright guy. Well, I'm Phoenix Wright. And this is Apollo Justice and Athena Sykes. They're lawyers too. If there's anything you need, all you have to do is ask. Same goes for me too, Miss Buckler. Haha. Just call me Sasha. And I'll call you all by your first names too, if that's alright. Phoenix, Apollo, Athena. You have to help me. Please save my friend. Guess we better start by asking her more about her defense requests. Miss Buckler, Sasha, could you tell us more about why you need our help? My friend is suspected of murdering the captain of Shipshape Aquarium. Captain? I thought the victim was the owner of the aquarium. Yeah, well, our aquarium has a pirate ship theme. That's why we call the owner our captain. We call the employees crew, too. It's a pretty unusual aquarium you've got there. Anyway, one of the crew members, my friend, is being suspected of the captain's murder. They've already decided she's guilty. I think they're going to give her the death penalty. What? What happened to due process? My friend is as sweet and gentle as a whale shark. She wouldn't hurt a guppy. I know there's no way she murdered anyone, but they won't believe me. But with a name like Wright, I figured you'd be able to help set them straight. Wait a minute. Don't tell me she picked you all because of a bad pun. Ouch. I see my reputation doesn't precede me. Seriously, my name can't be the real reason she's here. What's the real reason you picked me, Sasha? Well, to be honest, I asked a whole slew of lawyers, but they all refused. They said stuff like, there's no merit to taking your case, or I'm not sure I can help. They're all as cruel as sharks, with hearts punier than whitebait. Ooh, I can really feel Sasha's frustration. With nobody on her side, she must feel all alone. But helping people like her is the whole reason I became a lawyer in the first place. And then I heard about a lawyer named Phoenix Wright. They say he defends clients to the end, no matter how bleak the circumstances. Guess my reputation does precede me. Not sure how well deserved it is, though. I thought to myself, if anybody can save my friend, it's you, Phoenix. What a tall order there for a man who just got his badge back. But I don't want to let Sasha down, or her friend. Let's help her, Mr. Wright. Let's save her friend. That's just what I was thinking. Sasha will accept your case. You will? Oh, thank you. You're a lifesaver, literally. Well, no time to stand around and mull it over things. I want you to meet my friend right away. Come to Shipshape Aquarium with me. You got it. And I'll go too. Sorry, but I need you to stay here and keep an eye on the office until Trucy gets back. You never know when a new client might stop by. How come I'm the one who has to stay behind? You've been in more cases. I don't know. Thanks a million, Apollo. Well, ladies, let's move to the aquarium, shall we? So, what do you think about this case, Apollo? Murder of the owner of Shipshape Aquarium? I can't think with you looking at me so expectantly. I don't really have any ideas. Sorry I'm not any help. But you are a help. As long as you're the one playing the office sitter, you're fine. Well, there's Apollo's favorite word. I think I'll say it a few times too. I'm fine, I'm fine. Are you two making fun of me? Who, us? Of course not. Just yanking your chain a little. So, any ideas for us? Well, I think you should give that swashbuckler video a chance. Lance? Starting to become a fan too, huh? I knew you'd find it. I knew you'd give it a chance. Not so much that. Just thought it might give you some leads, seeing as it's the scene of the crime after all. It's a good idea. I'll take a look when I get a second. I've got nothing better to do, so maybe I'll watch it a few times myself. Apollo, please try to find something better to do. Whoa. Sorry. Wish. How we feeling, folks? How we doing? How's it going, dudes? Okay. We'll play a little bit of this. I don't have too long, but just a wee bit. A wee bit of the case. I can finally do a pirate voice. Finally have an excuse. Oh my god, I'm so obsessed with the physics. This new model. You guys are gonna lose it. I swear. I hope. I hope you will. In a good way. Boing, 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 boing. Ship-shape aquarium, aqua tunnel. Wow, this is gorgeous. It's just like being under the sea. Yeah, this is the aqua tunnel. Pride and joy. I'm really glad you like it. I'm going to go on ahead and fill the detective in on your arrival. Take a look around the tunnel, and come meet me in the pool up ahead on the right. Hey boss, look at this cute little fish. But it would be delicious grilled. Seriously? Is that all you can think of? Well, I didn't get to eat lunch today. Whoa, what was that?
The fuck? What was that? What is that? Did that thing just show up? Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that too? Hold on, let me... Like right here. What is that? It just showed up. What is that? Okay. Well, I didn't... Okay. Well, I didn't get to eat lunch today. Oh, here comes some grilled chicken. Oh, okay. It's kind of like glitched into place. It's so weird. It's not chicken, it's a penguin. Come here, little cutie. It ignored me. Maybe it was hungry too. Oh, look. Drop something. Huh. It's an ad for the Swashbuckler Spectacular show. Penguin had a whole bunch of these stuffed in its backpack. It's passing out flyers, huh? How cute. Carrier penguin that distributes flyers? Use one of those for our office. Swashbuckler flyer added to the court record. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I can play with my model on my own time. Yeah, you're right. Time to roll up our sleeves. Ship-shape aquarium. Huh? I don't see Sasha. Ah! Are you two the lawyers Miss Buckler mentioned? Oh, man. I see why people said you should play this case earlier. Doesn't hit the same. Ah, are you two the lawyers Miss Buckler mentioned? Detective Fulbright, are you the lead detective on this case? That's right. As long as evil exists in this world, there's no rest for me. And who is your sea urchin-like friend there? I don't believe we've met. Talking about me? The defendant's lawyer, Phoenix Wright. Well, I'm Detective Bobby Fulbright. People don't usually get to see this area. It's only open now because of the investigation. You two are pretty lucky to get this peek behind the scenes of an aquarium. Lucky, right. Guy's even louder than Apollo. So, where is the suspect being questioned? And where is Miss Buckler? Here I be, me buckos. Eek! Ah, shiver me timbers, there be one o' dread pirate no-stashes scurvy swabs. I beg your pardon? I'm not anyone's swab, scurvy or otherwise. More shameless than a sea urchin ye be, trying to make off with me best bucko. If you want to pick a fight with us, you'd best bring along an army of great white sharks. Sasha, what's going on here? Let me introduce you. This is the friend I was telling you about. Her name is Aura Shipley. But she only responds to Orla, so that's what people call her. I'm a trainer. She's the suspect in the murder, but she'd never hurt anybody. She's the suspect? Yeah, and thank goodness you came before they put her down. I'm really grateful to the two of you. I just know you'll save Orla. What? Don't tell me you didn't even know who your client was.
An orca is the suspect? Our client is an orca? Is this for real?
Oh, did I forget to mention that? Oopsie. That's one very big oopsie. By the way, what was it with that mustache earlier? Oh, this be part of me costume for the swashbuckler spectacular. When I be wearing the mustache, I be one of Captain Orla's swashbucklers. A transformation as dramatic as a puffer fish's, wouldn't you say? I don't think I would ever say that. Pirate-themed aquarium, so that's why Orla is wearing a pirate hat, right? Yep, she really loves wearing hats. She puts them on all the time. But her fake mustache keeps falling off, so that's a problem. I see. Well, why don't we start with you telling us a little bit more about Orla? Alright. I think that's where we're gonna hang it up for tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me. We finished another case. Now we are on the final case of Ace Attorney 5. So look forward to that. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow for some Minecraft. And yeah. Alright. Ciao. Bye everybody. Love ya. I can't believe we're representing a whale.